Hello, this is Neil, the art instructor at masterpaintingnow.com. Now, if you remember a while ago, what you see here in red, there's this W thing I talked about within anatomy that you can find. Now, how that develops is understanding the mechanics of the. I actually started recording the video and then I realized I pushed pause and I did all this recording while it was on pause, so I'm re-recording it here. When you have the anatomy, let's just go over this really quickly because we got to. I think what I didn't describe or go into was how exactly did this concept develop? How did the idea of the W come about? And it comes about to understanding anatomy. So you have your clavicles. Now your clavicles you can kind of think of like shaped like this, right? And then they wrap around and they connect to the scapula, which comes around the back. You have the trapezius, and it comes here and it connects into here, and it connects to part of the clavicle and comes up here and also goes way into the back, but we're not going to go into that right now. I'm not giving an anatomy lesson. That's for my course that's about to come out. And so for all you that have waited patiently, I thank you. And you will see the course very, very soon. I have 62 hours of it recorded and finished. I just have to upload the files, which doesn't take very long. I have about 4 more hours I want to record, so I want this course to be perfect, to be the best of the best. I want it to be the best course on human anatomy ever. And I think I have come very close to accomplishing that, if not accomplishing that. I teach in a very unique style, and it works. It's anyway. The course is coming. Maybe I'll put like a little snippet of it. I have put a snippet of it before, part of it with dealing with the pec muscles. But anyway, you don't have to wait much longer. It's just about I just have to write the cells page and stuff. It's just about done. Right now you have the sternum that comes down here. And so understanding this little piece of anatomy here is you have the deltoid, not the deltoid, the pec muscle connects all the way along the sternum and a little bit to the bottom ribs here. And that's it. That's where it connects, and it connects to half of the clavicle. And so if I were to draw that in red to show you where it connects, that's the connection points of the pec muscle. Now, then you have your humerus bone. Let's say this humerus bone is coming out this way, like we had drawn over here. The pec muscle attaches here, so it has to come down. Right? It gets a shape like this. And it comes across. If we have the arm just coming down just for a second just to kind of show, you have the pec and it kind of comes and it connects here and it connects to over there. And you have like the three major breakups of it that overlap each other. And I can get into all the anatomy right now. That's for my anatomy course. Check it out. It's coming out very soon. In fact, by the time you're already watching this video, it might already be on the market. So just go to the website and see if it's there. Or you might have a link to it right here in this video. So understanding that the pec and how it attaches there, then the deltoid takes up this other portion. It attaches to the other portion of the clavicle. It kind of takes right off where the pec ends, and then bam, that's where you have on the underside. On this side, you have the trapezius muscle, but on the other side of the clavicle, like the clavicle has thickness to it. So on one side the trapezius, on the other side the deltoid. Different ridges, and the deltoid wraps all the way around. It also connects along the ridge of the scapula on the other side, and so it comes around like this, and it connects to if you have a side view of the person, you have the neck coming down, and the scapula coming around. You have the humerus bone. The deltoid is connecting down here to the side and up here, and then the trapezius is coming in here like this, coming around the back. So you have the deltoid like this, right? So it's kind of, you want to kind of think about it as kind of shaped like that, right? Like a triangle. And in this case, from the side view, almost like a heart, the way it kind of comes around. And knowing that that's where it connects to the side, the outside here of the bone, it connects here to this outside from the side view of the humerus bone. Knowing where then it connects, when you have the arm twist up like this, you're seeing the bicep here. So remember, the W goes like this. It follows up to the deltoid and to the bicep. So that's how that W came about, is understanding the anatomy, how this flows together, how the pec kind of floats into the one muscle. If the humerus bone's kind of up like this, again, you're definitely having the side view is turned away from us. So the deltoid is connecting to the other side of the humerus bone over here that we can't see. Same thing here, but what happens is as the pec muscle comes up, it's having to stretch more to get up there to connect to the humerus bone. and then the deltoid wraps around and connects to the other side. And then you have that rolling into the bicep. And that's how you get that W. And then the deltoid comes off over here and wraps around to the back, part of the scapula. So when you consider, I'm making this guy very buff. When you consider all these things, then it all starts to make sense how you come across that W. There's another major landmark I like to discuss, so I'm gonna put that one in red. That was the W that we discussed last time, and that's the anatomy behind it, how it's developed. What I believe is what it's representing. So it's either simplifying the anatomy, or it's like a trick to simplify anatomy, or it's a trick to memorize the anatomy. That it has that kind of shape to it to make sure you get the anatomy right. If we draw a straight line coming down here, you should know your proportions and stuff. So, I'm just kind of eyeballing it based on my knowledge of the human figure, knowing about how many heads down it should be and all that kind of stuff. And I'm adding a little bit of style here. But you'll be able to understand all that if you take my course. That's if it's not already out, it's coming out very soon, the anatomy course. The next major shape you want to memorize here, it's kind of like handlebars, or like a mix between a V and a U. Kind of comes up like this. With the girl, it's wider than with the guy. But the shape is here. This is the next shape you want to memorize. Right, now if you have this important piece of anatomy here, that's the rib cage. But it's not something, there's no like lines or tricks to memorize it. And it's really, I don't think it's as that important of a landscape to memorize as the clavicle bones and that W shape that packs into the deltoid. But I just want to show that's where it'd be. And then you have the love handles, which attach to the top of this. This is representing the iliac crest and the pelvic bone. The love handles attached to the top here. They kind of have a shape like this. Right, we know that abdominal muscles will fit into this area here. Right, so knowing that the love handles, that you can that's another, kind of like a map line you can memorize. It's not really flowing in anything like the W flows a bunch of muscles together, but you can imagine how this pelvic shape kind of flows into the love handles. Now the legs attach to the top and bottom. So you have the leg and it's attaching, let's pick black, here and here. And here's another landmark that you can memorize that flows into each other. The sartorius muscle kind of flows into, forget the name of this muscle right here, but it flows in and around that muscle and comes around down here like this. And so that's another landmark you can memorize that kind of flows a bunch of muscles together. Then you have here, this side, here, this side. Of course, you have a kneecap a little bit higher to where that reaches. This comes up and creates this other that's like this is the other muscle, but it has a strong tendon that comes off of all this is tendon that connects to the kneecap and connects to that muscle. You have the other muscle over here, so you have the slant. There's a higher muscle here and a lower muscle here. Then you have two muscles on each side of the kneecap, which is important to memorize. And this one comes lower, another slant, than this one. And that's how you get the higher calf on this side and the lower calf muscle on this side. But anyway, those landmarks, the pelvic, you have the clavicle, then you have that W shape to look for, to put into your figure, knowing the under anatomy. This is like a quick shortcut or a simplification of it, or a way to memorize, hey, I need to make sure all that flows together. You have that Y shape right here, boom, bam, bam, of the leg. So you have this long line that just flows a bunch of muscles together. That line is a good line to memorize for anatomy. Part of the rib cage. I kind of made this side a little bit wider, and I guess I could fix it really quick. All right, there's more pieces over here to memorize, kind of lines that flow into each other, and I kind of have over here. You have the bicep line, so you can also have a break off of the bicep line coming here. And then memorize you have the choriobrachialis, kind of break it off into it. That's another Y shape right here. Bam, Y shape right there. Let me draw it in red. We can see the Y shape. All right, that's the Y shape. You also have the latissimus dorsi that connects up here to the same humerus bone, but it goes around to the back side of the body and attaches to fibers in the back. But this is another, they don't flow into each other. I mean, the bicep here kind of flows into the brachialis like this, and the core brachialis kind of flows into each other. You get all these lines kind of flow into each other, forming that shape. And you have the tricep that comes off here, like that. It's the coracobrachialis, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and the latissimus dorsi that overlap and create this kind of hole, because the latissimus dorsi is like that, and there's a hole right in here between the pec, between these two muscles, the pectoral, the coracobrachialis, and the latissimus dorsi right here, create this kind of hole in the center of them where they're not connecting, and that is what we call the armpit. Right, so there's some other things to think about. The lines don't kind of flow into each other the same way, but you have patterns of lines you can memorize that will help you. So it's like a simplification of the anatomy, and it's also a trick to help you remember the anatomy. But to me, the most important landmarks to memorize are this shape here of the clavicle bone, the two muscles that come off that into the neck, the lats that come and connect to part of the clavicle, then this W shape goes into the bicep, and then if the arm is lifted up, it's even more so. And you know why that is because especially after you take my anatomy course, is when the arms lift up like this, well, the pec is connected here, here, and here, and it's connected up here, so it has to stretch. Arm goes up, the whole pec stretch with it because it's connected to it. And the deltoid also has to wrap around. It's connected to part of the. It's connected to right here to part of the clavicle bone, and it wraps around and connects to the scapula going back there, and it's connected over here to the outside, the part that we can't see right now, of the humerus bone, and so it's wrapping around there. That's how come it has this shape it has here. And it kind of goes like that. The other part that's important to memorize is this shape here, that kind of bicycle shape. And when you draw it in 3/4 view, it's a little bit different. You have your center line here of the body. You're going to have less side that's turning away from us, more side that's facing us. This is just the front plane. You also have the side plane, so you can think about a box if you want to. You have the side plane here as well. This representing like the upper part, this representing the lower part, let's say. And so you have the hips, and the hips have that same shape is happening here, but it's kind of coming around like this instead. We have the same iliac crest on each side. And you see more of a side view over here than you are. And so the leg, the buttocks are attaching to part of here, and the leg's coming and attaching here. And then you have, the pelvic bone, and the other leg is here, and it's attaching over here too. We can't see the other side of the leg. And then you have you want to imagine the neck. So the trick you do with the box is if that's the center of the box, then you draw a straight line this way. That's the center of the top. And so the neck is going to fit in this area. Like that. And that's going to be the center of the neck. And you're going to have lats coming off this way. You're going to have the clavicle bone up and around. Remember, it's kind of like a bicycle. Comes in, it comes around like that. And it comes around that way. The traps, the deltoid come around to the side. You're seeing a big part of the side of the deltoid. You have the arm here, just doing like form for right now. That side, but you can't really see. The pec muscles is coming that way, coming this way. Let's make them bigger actually. And you have the lats, which are kind of coming down, and it's connecting into the sartorius muscles. You have these muscles connect this way, and then you have the other muscles going down that way, like that are connected to the ribs, and you have the love handle coming up, love handle over here a little bit. You can't see much of it though. You see more of the ab muscles here coming down, ab muscles here. Alright, belly button and so forth. So it's like 3/4 view, but you still have that same landmark here, this landmark here, and you can have that same, kind of W shape. And when the arm's down like this, the W shape of the deltoid kind of goes into the bicep like that. And then that outside. Then you have the corabrachialis. And here's another thing I want to show is how the corabrachialis kind of turns into the brachialis, which is here between the bicep and the tricep. It kind of flows into the brachialis as one muscle, which comes and connects to the thumb side of the forearm. And so it kind of has a muscle like that, and you have another muscle comes off of there. So if you were to think about the other side of the arm, let's say, right, let's say now we're drawing the Alright, we'll have the deltoid pec coming here. You have the deltoid coming off over here. And it's kind of to the side. We're seeing a little bit of the side view of the arm here. So you have the tricep over here. Now, when you have the bicep here, there's another kind of line. If you have that same W in mind here, it comes up to this and on the inside. In this case, it comes like to the inside of the bicep. Then you have the corabrachialis on really buff people, or the brachialis right here, which you can see on buff people. And that flows into, let's go ahead and just draw a basic simplicity for the forearm for a second, just so we can kind of see how this is going to work. The corabrachialis is going to kind of, or the brachialis is kind of flow into the corabrachialis, which comes around here to the thumb side. And so it kind of creates that, there's that line of continuation connecting two muscles up into one muscle. Then the muscle comes off there. Then you have that pitch here, or that dip in between, like that. And you have the other muscle kind of coming that way over there. Right? So that is another line to kind of memorize, like this. The S to memorize within the body. That you have this W, which follows the pec. To deltoid and bicep, and when the arm's up, or to the side, it's more like that, and it follows that outside part of the bicep, not the inside part. This being the inside part of the bicep. And in this case, it's not following this part of the deltoid though. It's kind of only following a small portion of the deltoid, and then here when the arm's down. If you want to memorize it as coming. It's not really plausible when the arm's down to see it that way. You can kind of see it as it's coming. Well, the deltoid should come up and out a little bit more. So let's go ahead and make the deltoid more proper anyway. The deltoid is going to come, the pec muscle is going to come like this. Let's do all this correctly. The deltoid connects to part. It's kind of big. It comes out way over here. Connects to the arm, right, bicep, brachialis, or tricep there. The pec muscle comes down, it connects over here to the same place, so you kind of imagine it coming down, coming up, and then following there. That's that W when the person's facing front. That's the outside of the part of the bicep that connects to the brachialis, which is here. You have the inside over here, so that's that same W talked about right there. And then when you have your forearm coming here, elbow, this here, you have the other brachialis as it flows into the not the coracobrachialis, the radiobrachialis. Boom, like that, kind of just flows into it, and the muscle comes off there. So these are little targets to memorize that will help you reduce. It's kind of like a simplification of the anatomy, or you can think about it as tricks to memorizing the anatomy. However you want to look at it, whether it helps you memorize anatomy or helps you simplify anatomy. So when you're drawing the figure, you can lay it down quicker. It's ways to lay down the anatomy quickly and to get those portions there correctly without having to spend so much time drawing. Anyway, so I hope this video has been helpful. Hey, if this video has been helpful, do me a favor. Click on the share button and share it with your Facebook friends, your Twitter friends, and so forth. So I'd really appreciate that because if you benefited from it, people on your Facebook might too. So if you share it to your Facebook, someone else might stumble across your page and find it useful as well. Let's help as many people as we can. That's why I offer so many videos for free. I think I have like 400 videos now for free on my YouTube channel. Been doing this a long time, and so all you faithful fans that have been with me from the beginning or with me for a long time, you know that I continually pop them out. I'm sorry I haven't done one in a while. I've been really busy with the course. I just want to really get that course done for you guys, and it's almost done. And so thank you for being patient and waiting. And for you that are on the VIP list, you'll have first access to that course when it's readily available. All right, thank you for watching. I hope this has been useful to you. And go ahead and subscribe if you're a new person, if you want to be informed when new videos come out. I usually come out with videos at least once a week. So thanks for watching. Oh, and also to show your enthusiasm or to show your support, go ahead and thumbs up the video and leave a comment. Even if the comment was like, hey, thanks, or whatever, it can be as short as you want. Just leave some sort of comment. Helps the video get more views and helps more people see it. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people. All right, thanks.